All right. Good day, everybody. My name is Bahzad,
My name is Risa.
and we are here streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. And this is the Naked and Famous Denim Raw Denim live stream, the number one live stream in the entire world across all topics.
Across all topics?
Across them all, you guys have tuned in. You've made the correct choice and tuned in to this live stream where we're going to talk about all kinds of things denim related, things non-denim related. Mm-hmm. You're going to get me on an unhinged rant or two for sure.
I have a feeling, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah. And we're going to have a fun morning for us, evening for many of you. It's about to get started. Everybody, let's hear where you're checking in from. It's great to see a lot of familiar faces already here in the chat. And let's get the party started. Why not? Hit the like button right now. Let's let everybody know. Let's share to the world that we've tuned in by clicking that like button. Mm-hmm. By the way, it's free, no charge, and it's tax free. So tax free. It's you don't even have to write it off. You can just hit it. You don't have to worry about it, and it makes everybody feel good. So I appreciate all those likes coming through. Everybody. Let's see where you're checking in from.
A lot of guys today.
Yeah, it's a busy chat. Great to see a lot of folks in here. Snuff Spoon is in the house. I see the Raven is in here. Your chat's moving too fast. Hello from SoCal says the Raven. Melody Murray, good to see you. Hello from Tucson, wearing my 16-ounce big slub today. Snuff Spoon is in from Reno, Nevada. Good to see you. The biggest little city on the planet. I think that's what they call Reno. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're known for. I've never been to Reno.
Yeah, I mean, we've
been
driven past.
Yeah.
But, just, never stopped it.
That's it. Not even a stop, eh? Eh? My Canadian coming out, eh? We've got Michael Martin checking in from Santa Cruz, California. Damon Buster, hello from Columbus, Ohio. Nice to see you. Shane, hey there from Vancouver, Washington. Thank you, Blue Owl, for carrying the 15th anniversary that I acquired. Well, thank you to Blue Owl and to our many fantastic Naked and Famous Denim supporters out there in the world who carried it, and seemingly everyone sold them out. Mm-hmm. Not seemingly, it definitely happened. So we're going to talk about that today in the stream. If you got a pair, excellent. You know, you have a pretty rare pair right there. Pedro says, busy as some Canadian beavers. Indeed, we're going to talk about that as well. There's right. some controversy. If you guys follow us on Instagram, that happened this week. That was a lot of fun to read through. That definitely kept me...
It's totally, great for our 15th anniversary, Gene, also. Right. It was just, perfect. It was,
Yeah. You know what? If I missed saying hello, Bill Todd, hi from Virginia, and Kevin Gill, Long Beach, California, the LBC is in the house. And Mr. RV, hello from Spain. Okay. Hello, everybody. If we missed you, we still love you. But let's jump in to the first topic, because I have to address this one, because this one kept me entertained all week. And not entertained, I wasn't... Anyways... It's tough. So
it's not pure joy.
It's not pure joy because I don't.
It keeps our lives interesting.
Sure.
I think
it has to do with our 15-year anniversary poster, which many of you know. We've previewed this poster many times on the live stream, and through that, I really had no inclination that there would be any kind of controversy with it. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I expected some. I expected some people to say, whoa, that's pretty out there.
Right.
But I think that was the whole point,
okay. Let's go to the photo in question. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't work. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna fix that. 1 second, Reno. Let's find, where is it? Is that one it? There we go. Okay, fixed. So that's the picture in question. You guys have seen it before. You guys, many of you picked it up because this poster is sold out. So I just want to explain a little bit of it because I think some people may not have understood kind of the point of the story here.
First of all, this was one of the most liked posts.
Yes, this was the most liked post of the year. I don't see where... Oh, there it is. 3,762 likes.
And most engaged post, for sure.
Yeah. So clearly a lot of people liked it. There were some people who didn't...
had opinions about it.
People had opinions. Some people didn't like it. New subscriber, Dae Hong. Liu in the house. Welcome to the Naked Famous Denim family. So, that said, we knew that this poster was... It's a not safe for work poster. Mm-hmm. I think that was obvious from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And we partnered up with Rockin' Jelly Bean, who is he's the GOAT. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to creating artwork like this. This kind of, raunchy, obscene, Mondo style pinup artwork. And I'm just going to say, for his stuff, this is a little bit on the tame side.
It's very on the tame side.
Right. So, what do we have here? We have our tragic blonde, and you can see she's kind of in the Naked and Famous Denim pose, right? And the scene that played out here was she's coming home from a day out in the Canadian wilderness. It's a cold day. She's coming home. She's getting relaxed. She's getting undressed. Naked and famous. She's getting undressed. And these two beavers show up in her home. It's kind of like, a mouse in your... Like, that was the intention. Like, wow. And then the play on words here is take off not take it off, not anything like, aggressive. And if you're a Canadian of a certain age, or really you maybe understand Canadian slang to any degree, you might know that take off it means like get out of here. It's take off is a phrase coined by our good friends Bob and Doug McKenzie, two iconic Canadian comedic duo, and the two beavers signify Canadian comedic duos. Terrence and Phillip, Bob and Doug, Kenny and Spenny, like the people I love, right? You've got the robot here in the background because at Tate and Yoko, we collect all kinds of robots. If you come into the store, you see robots all around the store. This isn't some like aggressive, like these animals are gonna do something to her. And so, it's funny. I feel bad that I have to explain funny to people. Yeah, it's beavers. It's salacious. We get it. Mm-hmm. But it's not supposed to be like we're promoting the worst types of behavior. Like, so I have to say that like some of the comments out there, like, okay, you don't like it. Somebody's like, oh, I can't hang this up in my house. I'm like, yeah, you might not be able to hang that up in your house. That's fair and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I get it. We got all kinds of Rockin' Jelly Bean artwork in our home. And when our niece comes over, or like Reese's friends, if the kids come over, I flip those posters around. Those, obviously, they're not meant for children. I'm not a child. Reese is not a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all adults here.
Right?
It's not surprising that people would take it a little, people are slightly offended. I think that's what, like, Rocky Jelly Bean's artwork is supposed to be. It's supposed to be, a little out of the comfort zone. It's supposed to be a little, what's the word? The, it's a little out there.
Yeah. His slogan is, I have to look it up because I want to say it exactly right. Mm-hmm. But the point is that...
Provocative is the word.
Provocative.
Yeah. And we're fine with that. We're not offended by people who are offended. Like, I get it. Like, it's an offensive type of art to some people. Yeah. It's just that the part that bothers me about, like, these comments, some of them, it's like, it doesn't bother me. It actually is entertaining. But it's kind of like, well, like, we're not. This is a cartoon. This is a drawing. It is also not. We're not like putting on real, human
beings.
in this like in these situations with talking beavers.
Right.
Like
right.
There's nothing to be offended. Like we're not exploiting anybody here.
Correct.
This is just artwork. It is drawings.
Yeah. And of course you can draw your artwork is certainly in the eye of the beholder. Like you're free to have your own opinion on it. But I felt that there were some comments and it, there was people who talked about it across the internet a little bit. But some people felt that because of whom, I don't know, that their comments were like, that this wasn't an objective, piece of artwork, and that their interpretation of it was the interpretation of it. Like, that was what it was. And, like, if you deviated from it, like, you were just, again, lumped in with all the bad types of people. And, there was another comment that was like, what if this was your mother or your wife or your daughter? And I'm like, what if my mother was a cartoon? Like,
and what if my mother was like, like a changing in her home and like, two animals showed up? What is it? Like, what is the part that's supposed to offend me?
Right. So I also just wanted to understand that question. Like, if my mother was a cartoon, like literally, I want to know the science actually behind this one. Like, so my mother's a cartoon in this scenario that you've drawn up, and somehow.
No, but even if you mentioned that,
I want this to be like a fantasy comic book, comic book thing came to life. My mom's a cartoon. Yeah, my dad was the comic book artist.
Came to life. So let's talk about life. Like, what if it was real life? What is so offending about this depiction?
Yeah. I don't know. And then there was another one that a friend of mine, he messaged me and he's like, I'm not going to make a comment because he wanted to make a joke. And I'm like, please don't, because I don't want any more fuel on this fire. But
but I came up with the same joke
Risa
as well.
Exactly said it. So somebody was like, what do the women in your company think about this? And I'm like from your perspective, what makes you think we would even hire women? Like, it's just like in the same like existence, you're like, we're misogynist and horrible towards women, and yet we also hire them, and we should care about their opinion.
Some woman is willing to work for them.
Yeah. I'm like, what is that? BBB. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome. So yeah, I thought that was funny. Risa said exactly. She's like, why would we hire women in this scenario? And so I'm not.
I think what I said was like, oh, we don't care about women's opinions.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's funny. Like, obviously I don't think that I'm a woman, but it's like.
And also, you were the liaison for this entire project, right?
Right.
But like, and like, none of these things that were called up upon, like, I'm not gonna speak for you, but did any of this cross your mind that this was what this was representing?
Oh, like
the nasty stuff people wrote.
No, that's a little too far. This is again is provocative. It is a little bit out of the comfort zone. Like I said, that I don't deny that, and that's not like, I'm not gonna wear a T-shirt of this graphic, to be honest, but in public at least. But I'm just like, the idea that this just offends so much, to the level that you have to compare the worst things that can happen to human beings out there.
Yeah,
is what you're taking from this Instagram post is insane.
Ooh. I'm gonna leave it on this, and I'm gonna say, to me, it was like, those ink tests. Those ink blot tests, they're like, what do you see? You see, it looks like children playing in the park. What does that look like? Oh, it looks like someone's having a picnic. Oh, what does that look like? Oh, somebody struck out at the baseball game. What do you see? I see hellfire and bombs blowing up. I'm like,
Yeah, it kind of shows what's in your head.
I'm not a religious guy, but anyways, I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
I'm a lady, and I'm going to remain a lady. Okay? That's my opinion on that one.
But again, I think it is, we've been selling jeans with the naked lady on the patch for the past 15 years. This is not the first time that anybody got offended by our tragic blonde logo.
And I have to say, we've made way worse. Like...
Oh, we made way worse. Remember
way
that,
worse.
exclusive one?
Like
that was very bad.
If you guys tuned in last week for my ideas of Blue Boobs Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, we had this one leather patch, but they were ridiculous. And they were ridiculous. And I was like,
there wasn't any
no, the pocket flasher was it was over the top,
right.
And then the leather patch, I'm just like, okay. Anyhow,
there was no controversy over there.
Zero. Zero controversy over it. So this one took me by surprise, and also I'm gonna leave it on this because I already left it on something. Nobody acknowledged the foot fetish stuff. Not even a little bit.
Because she's wearing socks.
I guess.
I think that's on purpose. Also this art, we did say certain things, but we just wanted him to be creatively free.
Yeah.
Because so we asked them to do general we want this tragic blonde in the artwork.
Yeah.
And if you could place her in the logo position, that would be wonderful. And we want to kind of convey the Canadianness of this.
Yeah.
But that's basically all we did. We said, and Rockin' Jelly Bean came back with basically this artwork.
Yeah.
And on we didn't even ask him to do a lot of the things here.
Yeah.
He just came back with it, and then we added a hat.
Yeah.
Her
We threw
hat,
in
and then we
a couple
did
of
take off a kind of comment too. But this is just out of his creative mind. We didn't really direct him. Other than just
we gave him some themes and that's really about it.
And so the take off a part, literally we didn't know he was gonna put two beavers in the artwork, and then as soon as we saw it, and he was like,
"Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it." So, guys, the foot fetish stuff. What? Come on. Not a one comment. Why is there a stinky foot in my face?
Going back to that, it's I think because we also asked him that we love your really super provocative stuff, but this has to we have audience that's not your audience too, so we just want to kind of keep it relatively PG for your world. That's what we asked actually.
And we definitely mentioned it before, and somebody mentioned it here in the chat where it's this is the artwork where she's wearing the most clothes ever, the most.
But I do think that because of the pose, because of where her foot is, I think he put on socks on purpose.
Yeah,
I feel like he understands that about
I can't go full
minds
all the way. But anyhow, somebody says don't bend the knee. I don't know what the rest of the comment is. I just kind of read that. Can't see the comment. But yeah, no, I'm not ashamed of this artwork in any way. I'm very proud.
In minutes.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this artwork, and if you don't like it, that's fine. There's your if you all wanted an explanation of what it was about, there you have it. You're not going to watch this video anyways, but if you do, there's your explanation. I hope it lets you understand that we're not the worst things that you thought we were, and if you continue to think that, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But again, this is just so worthy of the 15-year anniversary celebration. It's just the controversy again. It's
and also
amazing.
Again, there's one thing that I believe is that if you watch your enemies making mistakes, not that these people are my enemies or anything like that, but if I see a competitor doing something stupid, I'm not going to message them and be like, hey, you shouldn't do that because yada yada. I'm going to let them do whatever they need to do, right? And so, even in this case, where it's say you were really upset by this artwork, leaving lots and lots and lots and lots of comments is just going to amplify the artwork. It doesn't. It
really helps.
It really helps us
to
get the message across.
The reach,
and it was not at all by any means a plan that we didn't hatch this idea. Whoa, let's create this controversial art. This is no more controversial than any of the other patches and things that we've ever done ever.
We've worked with Mark and Jelly Bean so many times.
Yeah.
And the first collaboration that was maybe like a
decade ago,
8 years ago now, that was also Rock and Jelly Bean, and he did the he drew the girls way more naked than this,
full out.
And there was no controversy. It's just kind of a matter, Instagram, a lot of people just see certain things that they don't necessarily follow, maybe. Right. I don't know.
I'm not really sure. But anyhow, that's that. Just going back, thanks to everybody for those comments, because you did help amplify it. And not that I think it was your help that helped us sell them 100% sold out. They would have sold out with or without you. But you certainly helped more people see our artwork and probably got a lot more people to like that artwork. So shout outs to you, you brave warriors of morality. You guys did it. Number one. You guys are number one. Thank you. Let's go over to the website. And let's take a look at what we have, because the reality is Naked and Famous Denim 15-year anniversary available now. It was available now. 100% sell through out on Tate and Yoko. I think Naked and Famous NYC had let's see here. There was oopsie doopsie. There's a couple. True Guy's gone, but some small sizes left over at
31 is not a bad size.
31's a good size. 31, Super Guy. So there's a little bit here and there. Other websites, I think Denali sold out. Cultism sold out. I checked Blue Owl this morning. I think they had a 30 or 31 somewhere. Mm-hmm. James Dant might also have, I don't know if it's 100% sell through, but they might. Anyways, as soon as the, basically on Tate and Yoko, within 1 minute, I would say 80% of the stock was gone. It flew. To be fair, we didn't have a lot. I told everybody, I let everyone know, it was on the social media posts and everything. We made 300 for the world. So Tate and Yoko, I don't know how many we had, 50 or something between everything. So there wasn't much.
Yeah, a little more, but yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't much. So those sold fast. The green poster sold really quick. The other, because we had 50 units, the one with 100 units, I think within 45 minutes or an hour or so, it was gone. So there was especially poster wise, there's a little bit more availability there. Not everyone's a customer for the poster though. But yeah, I mean, it sold out.
But posters did sell out.
Yeah, posters did eventually sell
out. That's also a good point.
But yeah, so I had some people messaging me, "Oh, congratulations! It's the fastest sellout ever." It was a very fast sellout, but it's not like an elephant release where we might have 300 or 400, 500 units in stock.
Yeah.
This is a very limited release. It was partially limited because production-wise, if we were to make this a more general release, we would have missed our 15-year anniversary. Right? We just there wasn't enough production space in order to make the amount that we maybe could have made. So we had to just settle for what we could make, and that ended up being around 300 pairs.
Did Rustica?
I don't think Rustica put it up on their website yet.
Oh,
I know they last week they were selling posters
because they had an event in Japan and they were selling posters there.
Yeah, there was a hot rod event they were showcasing at.
And we basically told them can you hold off the putting online until the 8th?
Yeah.
because that's when our release is. Like, we ask them, sometimes they do, some other times they don't, but like, he said no problem, we're gonna sell it on the website on the 8th. I don't think we saw that, so I'm not sure. They might still do that in the future. If you missed out on the jeans and if you really want them, maybe you can contact them. I know they ship internationally.
We sold them 2 fits. I think it was Weird Guy
and True Guy.
I'd have to double check. I don't know offhand. So there's you know how I can tell? On the Naked and Famous Denim website, this is what you guys should all do anytime you're trying to check. Here's what you do. If you ever want to know, that's not how that works. I'm clicking the wrong things. nakedandfamousdenim.com. You go over to that internet website if it loads. There we go. My internet's a little slow today, everybody. There we go. So on the internet, go to nakedandfamousdenim.com, and then whatever our release is, we'll have a blog post for it. So there's 15-year anniversary.
Yeah, the slide would take you there.
Yeah. And, so Erostica, Japan, Weird Guy, True Guy, and the poster. So, you got those options right there as well. Pronto, I don't know if they put theirs up yet either, but I don't think that they ship internationally. So that's more of a Thailand-based release. So, if you got yours, great. If you missed out, so sorry.
But on Tate and Yoko, just out of, it doesn't cost you anything to sign up for a back in stock notification.
Yeah.
So just do that just in case, because we might find some things, there might be a return. Or, I have a feeling there's actually a couple floating around in the warehouse, because there were units showing in the system, but we didn't, have them in the warehouse. So,
okay.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I would suggest that you would sign up, because, again, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
If you caught it, then you're lucky.
Right. You never know. The best thing is that back in stock, because just like with JoJo's and all that other stuff, somebody's might have ordered a pair, doesn't fit, it's going to come back. So...
And you can, you can sign up with the email, or you can sign up with the phone number that will text you once it's in stock. I would suspect that if anything goes back online, it will be gone in minutes. So.
Yeah. So, anyways, for those who could get it, congratulations. I hope they fit you. If you missed out, don't worry. There will be more. Hopefully you grabbed the poster, as a consolation prize, or if that poster was a little too spicy for you, which it very well could have been. There's no denying that. We'll have some more great stuff coming soon.
100%.
There will be more great stuff coming soon, so don't you worry.
And we will also, I think, work again with Rock and Jelly Bean in the future too.
Right. So that's it. Carl Murawski is in the house. He says, "Love that shirt, Bahzad."
Yeah,
well, thank you very much, Carl. You featured. It was the same fabric, but a different color. You featured it in your flannel review video that you did just recently. If you want to learn about all the best flannels that there are, including this one, you check out Carl Murawski's review of the best flannels to get. And also, Carl, I do appreciate it because every Wednesday we post This Week at Tate and Yoko. So that's our new, weekly series with what's going on.
Very popular, silly.
Yeah, it's growing a lot. Carl has Coffee with Carl, which I like a lot because it's a lot like this, where it's a casual, non-scripted. We talk about the stuff that we like, and Carl mentioned it, and it's absolutely true. It reminds me of old school YouTube days. The original days of YouTube where it was just you'd be in front of your webcam, right?
You're so low resolution.
Yeah. Me and my buddy, I'm not gonna, this is gonna be for the internet sleuths, I'm gonna put it out there, but me and my buddy, in the early days of YouTube, we tried to start a YouTube channel, and there's still a couple, they're old.
Are they online?
They're still there.
They're there?
Yeah.
Great.
You will probably not find them, but some internet sleuth here will find them. They had nothing to do.
I have a feeling that somebody in this chat would.
They have nothing to do with fashion. Nothing to do with fashion. But Yeah, he. Anyways, you guys try and go and find it. Chris Griffin's like, I'm on it. Chris Griffin.
I
If
know
anyone
you
will find it, Chris Griffin will find it. Snuff Spoon writes, "Don't make me dig." Anyways, I'm only in a couple of the videos. He moved away and he continued the channel on his own. And at a point, like, it was growing, but I think he just didn't have the time for it. YouTube's a tough business.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube, like, even now, like, every weekend I say to myself, you know, I want to start just recording a vlog or something. I like watching vlogs. I'm interested in it. I make a lot of videos for work, but I kind of want to be a little more creative. I bought a new camera, this DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I haven't even recorded anything with it yet. I've just been playing around with the settings.
Got it also.
But anyways, hopefully
more personal content.
Yeah, personal content to come. Who knows? I wish I had. I don't know. I wish I had more time. Time is the thing you can't buy.
Time is money.
And time is money. Time is money, but you can't buy time.
You can buy money.
You can buy money.
With money.
Mm-hmm. You can buy money with time. Kind of. If your time is worth the money.
Only if your time is worth the money. Yes.
That's it. Snuff Spoon writes, Bahzad Risa vlog. That's it. It would be, some kind of fashion lifestyle. Like, Risa and I, we go thrifting a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot. Mm-hmm. And, like, I like to thrift hunt. Mm-hmm. And, like, finding cool pieces and...
But it's so hard to, like, film while you're this. You know?
I wish there was a third person who would just record us. Like, filming yourself is not easy. I don't know.
It should be, like, a drone that follows us all the time.
We could get one of those. Pedro writes, they offered double time at my job for Sunday. No thanks. I'll enjoy my weekends. It's been crazy there lately. Yeah, I can imagine. I used to be the guy who would take every time there was, like, some extra shift or whatever, I took them all. I guess I was young and I had really nothing going on. Like, when I was in my early to mid-20s, even to be completely fair, I still don't not work. It's all work all the time.
Yeah, but we're not, like, counted hours.
Right.
Like, we don't work longer so we can get paid more.
Right.
We work longer because we work harder.
Yeah, that's it. But when I one time, twice in my life, I once was the Ralph Lauren bear. So one time we were having this Ralph Lauren event at the store I was working at, and they're like, somebody needs to be the bear. I'm like, somebody needs to be, what does that mean? They're like, they're going to ship us this bear outfit, and we need somebody to be in it. And I'm like, and then Noah's raising hands like, we'll pay you double. I'm like, sold. I will be the bear. And I donned the bear outfit, put it on, giant suit. It was hot as hell in there. And interestingly enough, the polo shirt that the bear wears is just a standard, like, XXL. It wasn't like a shirt made for the bear.
Really?
Yeah, it was just
XXL?
Something like that. It was just a big shirt. It was polo. It kind of runs big.
Right.
But it just fit on. And I would march around the store and take pictures. It was kind of funny.
Yeah. You have to be relatively on the smaller side person to be in, like, those costumes too. Right?
Yeah, I weighed like 120 pounds then. I was really skinny.
You can't be, like, too big because then, like, the extra.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful in there. It was just the worst.
I cannot imagine. Like, people who do that at, like, Disneyland and stuff all day long, it's insane. Yeah. They have so much, like, patience.
Million Blades asks a very, very intelligent question. And this he's an old school Naked and Famous fan for this one. Please make a similar version of Naked and Famous Denim, blue and green. Do you have any say when you ask the mills? Do you have any say when you ask the mill to make you a special fabric to replicate an older fabric? Is this possible?
That's all we do, really.
So, early days of Naked and Famous Denim, like, first season, one of the first stores to carry us in New York was a shop called Blue and Green. They still exist today. I think management's different now, but the early years of Naked and Famous, we were stocked at Blue and
They
Green.
were the denim store.
Yeah, and they're still a pretty important denim. Like
Yeah, but they're more like
they've branched out a lot more.
Fashion.
Yeah, I remember when I was in like before Naked and Famous and everything. I remember one time I went to New York specifically to go to Blue and Green to buy raw denim jeans. Like it's still a thing, but even then, like back then, it was like there were 2 shops in America that were like the raw denim stores. So now you have a lot more options. So we made a specific, I think it was a 20 ounce or 19, 20, 21 ounce, something like that, denim for them. It was an exclusive jean, and that fabric faded absolutely beautifully. It was a very incredible fabric, and I've always wanted to redo it. Mm-hmm. The mill has lost the recipe. That like we know the fabric number. We brought it up to them. We've talked about it. We've showed it to them. They're just like, oh, we're not like they don't know how to make it again. And maybe we could kind of reverse engineer it in a way, but I don't think it will be exactly the same.
Or they actually know how to make it, but they don't want to make it because it's pain in the.
That's true. It could be a Japanese no.
Yeah.
Japanese no is never a no. It's always.
It's difficult.
We'll see. Muzukashi desu. It's difficult.
And even when okay, then find out, please, and let us know. Even the final answer where there is no conversation after this, they still do not say no. You have to understand what they're saying is no. Yeah. It's like decoding their message.
Yeah. Million Blades writes, tell them you're a good customer. Oh, they know we're a good customer. But there are some things that, even a good customer, there are sometimes things you have to say no to. That's life.
Their business too.
Yeah. And I think Risa has it on the head. I think it is a difficult task. Maybe
they can't source certain things anymore. Who knows?
Right.
But I cannot really believe that it's something that they cannot even come close to, or they don't even you know what I mean? It's a secret recipe that we can't replicate.
Right.
I don't think that's the case.
The Raven writes, why is she called the Tragic Blonde? Because it has to do with romance comics from the 1960s, 1970s. I don't know if you're too familiar with these, but let's pull them up. So we'll just call them. Let's go to the Googly. And we're going to look up romance comics. So in this era, and this is... Oopsie. So in this kind of 50s, 60s era, comic books for girls were very much of the romance variety. Can I get the guy? Oh, he's cheating on me. Oh, he's got another. I've fallen in love with him, but he is a married man. Like these Harlequin romances, but these were meant for young adults, and you get all these kind of scenes of women crying, and they're not always blondes, but they typically are blondes, and this is the style of artwork that inspired Roy Lichtenstein. This is and via that is the artwork that inspired the Naked and Famous Denim logo. A lot of Roy Lichtenstein's works are literally pulled from the panels of these romance comic books. So a lot of these stories are based on these tragic loves, these tragic situations. Love hurts, heart throbs, romance without tears. So Tragic Blonde came from this. And that's why when you come into Naked and Famous Denim, Tate and Yoko, if you ever see the change room, the walls of the change rooms are lined with pages from these romance comic books. And when we were opening the store, Brandon and I, from Montreal to Toronto, hit up every single comic book store we could find, and we bought up all of their romance comics, except for the ones that were ridiculously priced. But like, most of them were like in the dollar bins or that kind of stuff. And we just bought up every freaking comic book we could find. And then we opened them all up and we carefully removed the pages of the most tragic scenes where the girls were the most sad and the most, sometimes they were roughed up a little bit, as you can see here. But we took all these ridiculous images and we lined our change rooms with them. And I have to say that some of the ads of the time were amazing. Nowadays you see a lot of like weight loss being pushed on, the generations. You got to be skinny. You got to be skinny. You got to be skinny. But there's all these ads in these ones where like, are you too skinny? Here's how you can earn gain 10 pounds in a weekend. And it was like, because the ideal look was a little more voluptuous, and so it's just kind of interesting to see how times have changed in not a lot of time and how we've forgotten that also, right? Like there were weight gain ads targeted to young females who might have been self-conscious.
Now I think it's more polarized to like,
now we accept a lot more. Now it's like, shapes and body, like there's love for everybody, which is, I think, the right place to be. But like there isn't one ideal anymore. I think that those ideas are out the window. These romance comics were a real trip. If you go to your local comic book store, there's gonna be some of these old ones. Pick them up. If they're $1 or $2, just pick them up because it's a relic. Sometimes it's just interesting to see, and this kind of stuff that was definitely influencing a generation. I don't know if young people are reading romance novels. Young girls, like, do they make those anymore?
Reads anymore.
Like I would remember when I was a kid at the grocery store, they'd have these, Fabio would be on the cover, and they'd have all these novels at the checkout at the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't think anybody reads anymore. I rarely see books.
No more books. All right, fair enough.
But I wonder if there are podcasts that are like romance, like. Because I've been like, getting suggested a lot of like fictional, like, it's like a drama, but like radio drama kind of.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's like the like romance version of that. Like,
I wonder. There's got to be. Podcast wise, there's something for everybody. There's got to be.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Right. Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. That's the long, short answer of why she is called the Tragic Blonde.
Okay, somebody mentioned, Gabriel Fisher mentioned, it's Matsuri Selvedge 100% cotton. Care tag says cotton acrylic nylon.
Yeah, correct. We have it wrong on the website, I think.
Yeah. Okay, we can fix that.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't fix it. I mean, it's sold out. So.
Yeah.
But yes, the reason why is because those neps need to be non-cotton. We can't make yarns with neps that are 100% cotton too. Yeah. So like those colorful neps that makes Matsuri Selvedge very special. Those we cannot make it with cotton, and those are the parts that are acrylic. Yeah,
that was a mistake on our end. I put the product copy on the website. I definitely made a mistake on that one. My apologies if you were expecting 100% cotton. If it's an issue for you, send us an email. We'll take care of it for you. We can take those jeans back. But again,
we can't make a 100% cotton version of it. Yeah. It wasn't a decision to use other fibers because of it.
Yeah, if there's a typo on our website and it, you get something and it's not what you expected what you read on the website, we will 100% take care of that situation for you. So there you have it. Mistakes happen, especially me. I have to say that I have to read over everything 50 times before it gets posted, and still mistakes happen. I am not because you know what it is? I see in my head I'm reading what I think, but sometimes what's on the page isn't what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you see what you want to see, basically. So, it's just human things. We deal with a lot of products. Yeah. And when 99% of the items are 100% cotton, we have it in templates that is 100% cotton, and sometimes it slips through. Yeah.
ZHR3OC writes, romance novels were for sure replaced with Wattpad fanfics. I'm not sure what Wattpad is, but fan fiction. Okay, yeah, probably. I'm sure there's people online writing romance stories about all kinds of characters. Maybe even us. But we're a real life romance, guys. You know, match made in denim heaven right here. All right. Nicholas Villepou writes, does it feel like cheating when you wear brands other than Naked and Famous? I don't think so. You know,
again, like we buy a lot of vintage.
Yeah.
Like, and I wear a lot of those vintages, but
I don't buy. Let me put it to you this way: I don't buy new things that are.
I would never buy jeans.
Yeah, it would never.
Well, other than like
vintage jeans.
Like for reference.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy brand new jeans.
Yeah.
I think that would make me feel weird, and unnecessary, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not necessary. But yeah, it's not a matter of feeling bad. It's just like, you know, I like my own recipe. You know, I'm not gonna eat at another restaurant.
And I'm also very, very full.
Yeah, and I'm very full. That's it. We have a lot of jeans. Yeah. But like, you know, for Naked Famous doesn't make everything. So clearly there has to be other brands that we wear.
Yeah.
We
don't make shoes.
Yeah.
We don't make
jackets. Like,
yeah.
I've been actually eyeing just to throw it out there. Risa and I were at Ron Herman in Japan the other day, and they had a great Canada Goose section. But on the train, on the way to where we were going that day, I saw this lady wearing this great Canada Goose jacket. It must have been new. And they didn't have it at the Ron Herman, but you know who has it? Gerhard Supply in Toronto. So it's been on my, I got to show it to you guys because it's so good. I do like Canada Goose, and they just got these Canada Goose jackets. So I have to give Gerhard a shout out because they're good people. And they carry these new Canada Goose jackets. Here it is. So shout outs to Canada Goose. No relation, but they are made in Canada. They are our Canadian contemporary. And it's this kind of like papery looking material. And yeah, they have all these, like this one right here, or like this vest. I'm kind of looking for a vest these days.
Yeah, because I want a down vest too, because there's a lot of time in this country, in this climate, that you can wear a vest.
Yeah.
In Canada, like, why would you why would you buy a vest when you can have sleeves? But
yeah, but if you need a vest, get a vest.
Yeah, vest is amazing.
Like if you're in a car. You know, I feel that there's a lot of situations where you need anyways.
Also, like, you can wear, like, big, thick, sweaters or something.
Yeah.
And you can still wear this and keep the core warm.
So I've been eyeing this one. I gotta pull the trigger soon. I don't think there are going to be too many of these. Inquire for details. Uh-oh. Okay, I have to inquire. I'm gonna give him a call after this one. So, other brands, I'm perfectly fine. Depends on the commodity.
Mm-hmm. We also have other brand of our own. Too,
yeah, of course. So I represent Wonder Looper all the time. Mm-hmm. I think you got a Wonder Looper t-shirt on here. Ultimate Pima. I've got the double heavyweight. We carry these at Tate and Yoko as well. That's the other thing. If it's a brand that we carry at Tate and Yoko, I also... Yeah. The reason we carry them is because we like them. We support them. So, we support them in our daily lives too. It tends to be if there's some mutual support there, then we're happy to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Turbo writes, any spring summer 24 previews today? You bet. I've got a bunch of jeans behind me. We will certainly talk about some of those today. Okay, Chris Griffin writes, someone asked, and the 5 most limited pairs I've researched are the W Weave 20 made cashmere, 100% cashmere selvage, 14 made paper denim blend, 60-40 paper blend, 17 made.
Was that just 17?
I feel like there was more, but it could have been. It was only for Hypebeast, and it was only in the Weird Guy. Baseball gloves, 60 made, Tokushima hand dye, 15 made. Tokushima hand dyed, it might have been the first one, but we've done a couple of Tokushimas since then, and there's been more than 15. Baseball gloves, pretty rare. Paper blend denim, 17. Could have been more than that, maybe, but I'm going to trust Chris on this one. But that paper blend denim, we did it for Hype Beast. So Hype Beast, as many of you guys may or may not know, is a blog. It is a internet website on the internet that talked. It was a lot about sneaker and streetwear culture, but it certainly has expanded beyond that as the definition of sneakers and streetwear has also expanded. But I think it was around 2012 or 2013, somewhere around there, where they launched their magazine, and then after that they launched their online store. So when they launched their online store, they were carrying the brand, and then to commemorate the launch of the magazine, we thought it would be cool to make because now they were going from digital to paper. We thought it would be cool to make a paper blend denim for them, and we did. And yeah, it was a pretty fun jean. I really liked that one. Pedro writes, seen those Naked Famous baseball gloves on eBay the other day. Think they wanted like $300. For some reason, there is not, as there is a collector's community for everything. I've seen collectors of baseball gloves have them on in their collections. I've seen them on Instagram from time to time. Let me double check something, because I don't know if Brandon posted it on his personal Instagram or not.
How much was it? I think he did. I remember seeing. How much was it when we sold it?
I don't remember. It was actually a little before my time. Brandon showed the baseball glove. Oh wait, let me pull it up on my phone. You keep talking, because
okay. I thought we were talking about baseball gloves.
No, there's something else Brandon sent me a picture of. And
right, the new one.
The new thing. We have not shown this off at all. I gotta find a picture of it. So keep them busy. Yeah. Because I might take me a minute to find it.
I mean, $300. I guess like back in the days, it probably didn't cost that much, but $300 today for a baseball glove, like special made, very limited with, leather and all, and made in Japan, I think, too. So it doesn't sound like too ridiculous, to be honest.
This is coming eventually. I don't know when, but eventually.
You're spilling the beans.
I'm spilling the beans.
Way prematurely.
Naked and Famous hockey gloves. So full-on denim. I think they're the 18-ounce big slub. And so the same denim that we used for the baseball gloves, but hockey gloves. And they are pretty amazing, and they're made in Canada. So Brandon has the sample. We are just, I guess, figuring out the production of everything. So that, for you, my friends here on the internet, you guys are gonna see it. It's coming.
Apparently, someday. We have a lot of things though that
it's in
are
the works.
Coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are coming. These are more than likely coming.
Right.
If not, I'm gonna hear about it for a long time. When am we gonna get them? So for you hockey fans out there, Canadian denim, Canadian tuxedo. We need to make a matching hockey jersey. If we do that, we have to make a jersey.
Out of denim?
Out of denim.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do it. If somehow we can get a collaboration with the Montreal Canadiens, that would be so sick.
Yeah, Brandon should use all his connections to get that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, I remember Raised by Wolves did a collaboration once with the Ottawa Senators. And
Their hockey team is called Senators?
yeah, they're the Ottawa Senators.
Funny.
And OTH in Montreal once did a collaboration with the Canadians.
Yes.
They sent me. I remember they sent me a hockey puck.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there must be a connection that can be made, whether they want to do that or not. But I mean, it seems appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe for the most Canadian collaboration of all time.
With the Canadians.
What is that the most Canadian thing we could possibly do? Our factory manager actually owns a maple syrup factory. Well, not a factory, but he has a maple syrup farm, and I want to make some Naked and Famous Denim maple syrup.
Mm-hmm. I think we tried
we tried once,
and then we just didn't do anything with it, and it expired.
Yeah, but we will get around to that because I would like to have some.
That's pretty Canadian.
That's pretty Canadian.
Yeah. We should make a Canadian kit.
Yeah.
Hockey jersey and.
You know, it would be great if we put them in cans. Mm-hmm. Right? If you guys don't know, this is a very iconic Canadian thing.
I would imagine that lasts longer too, no?
I mean, well, as soon as you open the can, it's the problem with cans that you.
Yeah, we'll make a smaller cans.
Yeah.
But like as sealed, it might last longer than the
bottle. Maybe.
I don't know. I just think anything in the can lasts forever.
Right. This can I like because there's more than one kind of can, but this is like a very iconic can. This guy right here.
Can for Canada.
Yeah, can for Canada. That would be really cool. The other iconic can is, let's see, this guy. You see a lot of that.
Yeah. This I see more like in more like suitable for souvenir stores. The can is just really like, what are you gonna do with this?
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
I love this thing.
I love it too, but it's like unless you're a restaurant, like it's never, like
it's such. I just like the picture. It's so nice.
So inconvenient.
Yeah, Produit de Quebec. Wonderful. So, anyways, we'll try to make more Canadian things for you all.
But, say if we made a Naked and Famous maple syrup, do we have to go through the mafia?
Yes, 100%.
To sell it?
Don't talk about that.
Oh,
We're gonna get in trouble.
They're listening to us.
They're listening. If you mention the words maple syrup, you get in trouble.
All right, sorry guys. I'm not trying to circumvent. I'm just wondering.
They're gonna get us. I'm afraid of them. Chris Griffin writes, but do you sell milk in bags? Of course we do. Milk in bags is, you guys don't know this about Canada. I was surprised that other people don't do this because
it's such an inconvenience.
No, it's wonderful. It is one of the most wonderful inventions Canada has ever come up with. And
is it also Canada invented it, or like America invented it? They moved on, and Canada like persisted on it.
You know what? We took it. It's ours. I don't care. I don't care whoever invented it. It's ours. We're appropriating it, and it's ours. Milk in bags in Canada. So this is how you buy milk in Canada. If I can find it. Yeah. You buy it in a here's a bag, and then in the bag there are 3 little bags, like 1 liter of milk, and then you put it in this jug, and you just cut a little hole on the end, and it pours out just fine.
Like, does it happen often that you put it in your bag or whatever, and then like a key just
never
pricks it?
Never. In my whole life, I drank milk like this. Milk comes in bags in Canada. You don't do this. This is for savages. That is insane. You leave the milk in the bag, and you just cut off the end. You just nip the tip, and then it pours, and it flows just fine. See, look how happy she is with the milk in a bag. You know, cartons are cool. You know, you could put pictures of missing children on them. I get it. You know,
and it can just stay on its own in the fridge. You don't need.
But you have
plastic.
the jug. It's great. What a nice way to consume milk.
To be fair, okay, I have to point out that I lived with you in Canada for 5 years, and not a single time did we buy milk in the bag.
Yeah,
I know your mom have like milk in the bag, but we did not.
We were buying like 2-liter cartons. We were buying big cartons.
But these are
1-liter bags. These are good for families because you can buy like 3 liters at a time, right?
Excuse me.
Liter cola? Do we sell liter cola here? Juan David Roa writes, ew, at putting it inside the little plastic jug. Yeah, you don't do that. Milk in bag is the number 1. Milk in glass bottle is number 2. What did we get? Oh wow, we got a delivery of apples. These are the number 1 apple that you can get if you.
Honey Crisp and Pink Lady. I personally like Pink Lady more.
Pink, our delivery of, guys. Do you know what this is? So remember I told you that in Japan you can, some of your tax dollars you can send to a different prefecture, to a different city, to a different area. And so if you send your tax dollars there instead of your own local area, they'll send you a gift. So it's like if you just pay your taxes in your own area, you don't get squat. But if you pay your taxes somewhere else... To
be fair, you are getting something.
You get squat.
Yeah.
Now we sent our tax dollars somewhere else, and then that was our gift. Mm-hmm. So we got a...
So it's basically like using the tax money you have to pay anyways to shop. And it used to be crazy. Like you used to get like, you pay however much, like, an iPod cost or iPad cost.
Yeah.
And you get an iPad. It's like the basically free iPad.
Yeah.
But now they're cracking down on that. So like it has to be like the value.
Yeah.
However they decide has to be like a 30% or less of what you pay, the gift value.
Yeah.
But it's with the commodities like, vegetables or like meat or things like that, they can't. iPad is easy because there's a retail price.
Yeah.
But like, things like that, it fluctuates so much. There is no like standard.
Yeah. It's
so
a little
gray. They can get away with a lot. So that's why you spend. Right. And this is actually a problem because like, there's a lot of people in the city parts like Tokyo or Yokohama or whatever. And they don't get, like, a lot of people in these cities, like, reroute their tax money to other cities.
Yeah.
So other cities, they often struggle because they don't have enough people to have, local, like, services and all that stuff. So, like, it helps those cities. But at the same time, like, Tokyo and, like, places like that struggles.
Yeah, they make enough money from the tourists. But, yeah. That's how we get wonderful fruit. Sometimes this is how we get expensive fruit and expensive meat. So I get my Wagyu A5 steaks.
Without paying for it. Well, we're paying for it.
Yeah, at least I'm getting something for it. So Call Me Navi says, is that Furusato Noze?
Yeah.
It is. That's what it is. So we just got our delivery of delicious apples. I don't think we're going to eat them on snack time today, though. Pink Lady apples in Japan are hard to come by.
It's not so like I've never seen it in the grocery stores. Yeah.
But in Canada and America, you can generally get them. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I know how much I love Pink Lady.
Have a Pink Lady apple this weekend, guys. It's worth the extra money. Honey Crisp and Pink Lady.
Honey Crisp is expensive, and I think it's worth the money. But Pink Lady is not that expensive, and it's very good.
Yeah, do it. BD with the call out. I only play a producer on live streams, but hey, why not request a like? Call an hour in. Yeah, that's it.
It's been an hour.
It's been an hour. So since it's been 1 hour. And you guys have been obviously entertained just tremendously. Hit the like button. Let's hit that like button now. Let's get those likes up so that the joy that you are having right now can be shared with even more people as they discover the greatest live stream in all of the internet right here. Not only do we talk about denim, we talk about Japan, apples, you name it. We're going to do it. We're going to get to some previews today. But you know what we need to do right now? We need to pick up from the topic we left off last week.
Yeah, that's a big topic.
The ultimate question. The ultimate challenge. why do we wear jeans? Not like, why do I personally wear jeans? I actually posed this question to the Tate and Yoko guys, and a lot of their answers were like, why do they wear?
Right.
Like,
Why do you like it?
Yeah, that's not the question. That's not the question.
Yeah.
The question is, why do we, like,
As
society?
a society. Not even a country.
Yeah.
A culture. It's just as humans.
Yeah.
Different cultures, different places.
We all saw that. We all saw these pants, and we're like, yes, these are for me. That's what I want. We had pants before. Those are out the window. Never gonna wear them again.
We still have other pants.
But you just don't wear them like you do a pair of jeans.
I think that's even like the meat of the question is that even though we have so many different kinds of pants, why are jeans so iconic and like basically one design? Like, I mean, different fits and whatnot, and you know, some variation of it, but five pocket
jeans, blue.
It just looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And why do we like insist on that?
Yeah, and why blue? Why not green or some other color? Why did blue become the
black? I mean, you would think that black is the easiest color to match.
Or even no color, like just a crew. It could have just been in a crew trouser.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little inconvenient, I guess.
But it took over the world, and I sometimes I think, you know, somebody wrote here Americana, and I'm like, I do think America had obviously the biggest impression of the world at that time.
Yeah,
you know
what they represented.
Right. So you had jeans were around before the gold rush. You know, they you know, whether it's France Serge Denim or Genova or Dungaree, you know, like these were all the Dungarees from India. So
fabrics.
All these fabrics existed in that part of the world before the New World. Was it before the New World? No, it was after the New.
I don't know what the New World.
The New World is like when Columbus and them.
Okay, maybe after.
That was after the New World.
Yeah.
Right, but these fabrics existed as trousers, but it wasn't until this gold rush hit. And I can understand why the gold rush guys were like, these are the pants for me. Because here's a heavy, durable cloth that wears well. Especially, they're out in California. They're out in, you know, these areas where they're working hard. Durable, lightweight. And, you know, they weren't thinking about the fades or anything like that. They just needed something that would
breathable and long-lasting.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, I think that's where like the ecru pants went out of the pocket, because then it's, you know, like you were working with soil, you're working with dirt, so
blue covered up
the
nastiness that might end up on your trousers.
And there's, you know, a decent theory about indigo dye being a very appropriate dye for those environments, because it is, you know, it has the ability to resist, you know, like bacteria, and not that they knew about bacteria, but like, you know, like they were finding out that, oh, these pants like hold up better. You know,
maybe
like me sweating all day long, and also like maybe it's slightly like resisting bugs and all that stuff compared to other pairs. Like, there was no like knowledge of this, and I'm not claiming that these people were like, oh, this is
antimicrobial,
or anything like that. It's just that I think these things could, like, people just kind of find out from their experience and their friends' experience. I think that played a role in that too. Yeah.
Somebody wrote, it's a magic garment that looks better the more worn it gets. I'm going to say that is a very modern take on denim.
That's after the fact.
Yeah, that's after the fact. When those guys were wearing jeans, they did not care. If they looked worn out, they were worn out. Like, it wasn't a matter of like, well, these are so cool. Like, you know, that, like, the idea of wearing like old and kind of tattered clothing nowadays to like, that is more of a, like, it's more of an expression of yourself as like, this has a history to it. Like, you're trying to portray an image, whether you wore them out yourself or you bought it at the thrift store or something. Like, there's something that you're saying in that garment. It's not like I'm of such humble means that I have to wear these tattered clothes. It's generally quite the opposite nowadays, right?
I'm sure they preferred a brand new jeans. But it's also that, like, I think it's, like, you have to, like, you have to start with, uncomfortable jeans, brand new jeans. It's like like brand new shoes. Like, it's a little uncomfortable to begin with, but once you break them in, it gets softer, but it doesn't fall apart. I think that was the difference between the other garments made with other fabrics and jeans. It's like, okay, like this fabric seems to hold up way better and gets more comfortable as I wear it, and then then Levi comes in where they made it more durable, like more
the cotton riveted jean. And then I think through that you would see, hey, just maybe even like how a lot of things from like the military sometimes find their ways into civilian life, because you have this heavy or durable, long lasting garment, and it's like, hey, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. So all of a sudden, you went from people who are wearing this in, the mines and, doing heavy labor to, I'll wear this for my gardening. I'll do this while I'm doing DIY stuff at home, construction. So it carries over, and then because you wore it so much, it starts to apply in so many different ways. And then it started being marketed towards children as like a durable thing to wear for kids. But I still think that, like, we're more describing like the evolution of how people started wearing jeans and not really explaining what drew us.
No, I think it's exactly how people, like, people started, like, seeing jeans as a must, like a staple item in their wardrobe. I think it's just like generations and generations of seeing these, like,
things build up on the top of each other.
And like now you can't deny it. We don't know why, but we can't deny it. We can't, like, imagine a world without jeans, honestly.
Right.
Because it's just because of all these things that happened over time. And it's just like, I was thinking about this morning, and my short answer for this question that I came up with is just that it was a perfect storm of everything, like, starting from how, like, the workers, started seeing value in these pants to, like, the pants itself becoming more iconic because that's what more and more people started to wear. And then it also became more of like a, American icon because it was widely worn in America first.
Right.
And, and then, it comes to like, like a industrial revolution times where it's like, like we as a society, America became more of an economical, like,
superpower.
Powerful society, and then people started to see, like James Dean and people that are not like, workers, but like good-looking people that we like to look at.
Good-looking Americans
that are like the icons that we aspire to started wearing them, and then like all these things, I think if any of them didn't happen or wasn't the case, then it wouldn't be such a thing. But I think the reason why we can't answer this question is because there's just so many elements to it, so many steps towards it.
It to me, it's like the shape of this garment, how the pockets are shaped in the front, in the back, coin pocket, like the button fly, like, what is it about all these combinations of construction details that made this version of this garment like the timeless piece that it is? And obviously we had trousers before that. We've had trousers since, and like, you know, sometimes you see some wild new design for jeans, and it's like, I'm like, that ain't it, right? You know, that ain't it. Or like, you know, some fashion students like, all right, here's my new idea for pants, and I'm like, yeah, no,
but
that's
also,
not it.
Like, it's so easy to like, you know, like that you know, like when we talk about jeans production, like the production of jeans is actually very complicated. You need multiple different machines, and you know, but we got to the point where we are so efficient about making these things that like it just makes sense to. Like it's like, you know,
that's true. It's like t-shirts. I mean, like these factories, so many factories are set up for exactly this. So it just gets made, and you know, maybe there's a thing of like, you know, everyone's doing it, so you do it. And you know, everyone wore suits back then, so everyone wore suits back then. It was appropriate. But now, you know, if you were to wear a suit on a regular day going to the grocery store, you look out of place. So maybe there's part of a social conditioning, you know, within it as well.
100%. It's like, you know, listening to a song that you didn't like the first time you listened to it, but you continue listening to it, and you just like it's like you can't help but love it. And that's kind of also how I think that the specific design of jeans became a thing. It's like there's just no other like explanation I can think of other than like we're just so conditioned to like or like accept this jeans as this jeans that we cannot like veer too far away from that.
Right. David Reyes says jeans are anti-establishment. They are. That's certainly what they represented. I think, you know, especially in those early. Now some jeans are very establishment. You know, they're made by the biggest corporations that this planet has. But the symbol of them, you know, when you look at a James Dean or even like a young Elvis, and you know, they're wearing jeans and t-shirts. T-shirts were underwear. Like, you remember that episode of Seinfeld with what's her name? The Braless Wonder? No. Yeah, the Braless, what was her name? Anyhow, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Mishki.
Sue Ellen Mishki. Sue Ellen Mishki, the Braless Wonder. You know, she's wearing the bra as the top, right? And like they're like, this is ridiculous. People from like the late 1800s or like early 1900s would see us. If you were to wear a T-shirt on the street, they'd think, you're Sue Ellen, you're flouting convention here. This is ridiculous, because this was underwear, right?
That's how I still feel about you know, some people's yoga pants sometimes.
Yes, like, that's true. Like that there's a little much.
Doesn't belong here.
I know too much about you that I shouldn't know. But yeah, it's interesting how things have transformed over time. And how quickly we've adopted the same garment to be applied in different ways. But why do we wear them? Why is a question that I think even I don't even have a good answer for.
There's no simple answer.
Yeah, I have a lot of like, oh, maybe because of this or maybe because of that.
There's no one answer, at least.
Yeah.
There is no simple, you can point to this reason kind of answer.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There's no specific one. There's a lot of build up, but yeah, I couldn't give you if somebody say, why do we wear jeans? I'm like, it's this very simple question. I'm like, yeah, do you have like 5 hours? Yeah.
And even then, we're still not gonna be like, you're still not gonna be able to like answer it.
Yeah. And like even the answers, I'm right, because America. I'm like, yes, because America. But why?
Yeah.
Why did America accept it?
Other things are American too.
Why weren't corduroys in the same cut?
Such an
the
iconic
thing, right?
Yeah. And it's like you can always argue that like, you know, other garments are iconic, or like, you know, even jeans are different variation, blah blah blah. And it's all true, but you cannot, like, there's just like unexplainable big powerful force that just made everything. It's just, I don't know, it's when you start thinking about it, your mind gets just go to
like
wild.
I just like, for me it's like, how did that shape the shape, you know, the kind of the swoop pockets on the front, The squared pockets kind of on the back, little triangle. How did this shape just win? It just won.
Yeah.
It won over every pant ever in history. In all of history, this shape won.
Mm-hmm. That I like I said, I attribute to like people just being so like used to it.
Yeah. And it'll never lose.
It will
like
never lose,
there will never be in 3,000 years when you're watching this live, we're obviously to the future that we're talking to. I'll just be a floating head in a jar somewhere, still ranting about stuff. Maybe.
That's best case scenario.
Best case scenario. But yeah, to the class of 3,000 years from now, I know, like, you're still wearing jeans that we wore in our time. And don't you find that to be so fascinating? You've got your rocket cars and your I don't know, what else is...
To be fair, in 3,000 years, maybe the climate is so different that you might not be wearing...
They're still wearing jeans. They're still wearing jeans.
It's only been like a couple hundred years. So
yeah.
I think we can't... that 3,000 years is a big jump.
Will they finally have the flying car? To be fair, we have helicopters, which I consider the flying car.
Airplane's also a flying car.
Yeah. An airplane is also a flying car.
I think airplane is like more of a flying car because they can,
Yeah.
Whereas helicopters are
up and down.
Up and down. Yeah. Anyways.
Regardless, all of your interesting future inventions are new and foreign to me. I don't understand them because how could someone with such a feeble mind from 3,000 years ago understand your advanced technology, which you might consider mundane and normal by now, but I mean, we're only on the Apple iPhone 15. You're on probably
you don't even have devices. It just all happens in the
or
air.
At the very least, you're on the iPhone 16. At the very least. So just think about how much better your stuff is compared to us. All right, future. I'm checking out. I got you. Juan David Raw writes, people talking about the Matsuri Selvedge in 3,000 years going to be at the Nasser table about copper composition. I don't know what that means, but sure. Customer service ticket from ancient Samaria. There you go. They'll have some very rare pants on their hands. And if you're looking for a really especially rare pair, if you're 3,000 years from now, people, Snowy Selvedge, 15-year anniversary. Check those out. Or check in with Chris Griffin because he's got the full list of all the rare pairs that you got to know about.
Snowy Selvedge and one size came back in stock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Okay. So, I don't know. Was that was the answer you were looking for? What did you guys think? I sent you guys home with some homework.
I think we missed a lot of insightful comments. But
Chris Griffin wrote, I spent a lot of time in period clothing, 1700s, 1800s. Always happy to put my jeans on after a long day of reenacting. Interesting. So it could be a comfort thing that the jeans are providing much. The thing is, some of that old-timey clothing was very intricate. You'd think about how many straps and buttons and things they have to have. Jeans certainly might have just been like, look how easy it is to wear this. Mm-hmm. Look at how easy it is.
It's also like, it's amazing sometimes how like people in the hottest part of the world and coldest part of the world wear jeans. And like, even in the coldest part of the world, which is Canada, basically.
Yep.
Like, people still walk around with just jeans at the bottom half. Yeah, you might wear a jacket, heavy jacket, cover your butt or whatever, but like the legs are covered with just jeans most of the time. And
the only time they're not is when you are going to the club and you are a girl from Montreal and it is minus 40 outside. Yeah. And you do not care about how cold it is.
Or you are a child and you're walking outside and you wear snow pants. Yeah. But But like other than that, like everybody's just walking around in jeans. Which is what like people in the hottest, like near the equator world also sometimes wears and walk around in, which is mind blowing.
Right. Shane Style writes, also moving away from blue collar. Think of all the politicians and world leaders. 90% of the time, they're wearing some version of navy, indigo, blue suits, blue ties, because it's a very good color. Yeah, maybe, I would imagine that, especially with those people, I call them those people, the people we should have a lot of disdain for. They have people who manage them and tell them exactly what colors they need to be wearing in order to project some kind of... again, blue is calming in general.
Yeah, I agree. Blue is a universally good color. It's a color of the ocean. It's a color of the sky.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a pleasing color to human eyes, I think.
Yeah.
And that must have something to do with it.
So, I mean, if it was their choice, they'd obviously be they would take off their masks and don their fiery horns and show off their flames.
Okay.
But I guess their handlers are like, you need to appear more human, so wear blue and speak slowly and with compassion.
All right. Enough of that.
I will be prime minister one day. I tell you that
and
much.
And then you'll be the devil.
No. I will.
But by your definition, if you are.
No, I'm gonna go full on exorcist mode, and I'm gonna exorcise the demons.
Yourself?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna team up with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we're gonna clean house.
All right, I'll videotape it.
Excellent. It'll be fun. There will be, you guys know, my first action as Canadian leader will be to put the real Queen of Canada on the money. That will be my first act, and then we will remove all taxes. There will be no more taxes, and jeans aren't mandatory because I'm not going to be that kind of leader. But they definitely, Canadian tuxedo will definitely be pushed as, a part of our national. We will adopt and really promote our national dress and really promote the wearing of jeans and jean jackets.
Any baby who's born in Canada
they get
a baby jean gifted so that you start your life properly.
Yeah, as a Canadian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to adopt and create more Canadian traditions. Just really as a whole team, these are the things that we get around hockey, you get around beer, back bacon, all the important Canadian stuff. But we need a national dress, and I think we really need to just say, you know what? It's clear that this is our heritage, and we should adopt it and really promote it throughout society. And I mean, it sounds, isn't it a wonderful place? Wouldn't you all want to move to Canada? And I would allow you all. You would all come freely, and we would create a beautiful blue nation under denim with liberty and justice for all. And then dun, 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 and then you just see a flag coming up.
So the song is a rip-off.
Yeah, we would definitely rip off the American national anthem because it is the best national anthem. You guys have,
Yeah, well, it's pretty.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Snuff Spoon writes, Risa is so tired of you sometimes.
I do spend 24/7 with this person.
Can you imagine? David Reyes, Hitman Hart statue at the Capitol. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you know what the statue would be? It would be of Bret Hart putting Stone Cold in a sharpshooter. What was that? WrestleMania 13, and the blood dripping down from Stone Cold's face as Bret's just putting him in that sharpshooter, and that was one of the greatest Canadian moments of all time, I have to say.
Is it?
Big one for me. I mean, it'd be so much more fun as me as leader. Jap27 writes, get government subsidies to provide every Canadian with Naked Famous jeans. There wouldn't be subsidies because there wouldn't be taxes. I wouldn't be able to give you money. But you'd have more money in your pocket. So you could just get all the Naked Famous jeans you want because you'd have more money in your pocket now.
But how do you gift these jeans to
I wouldn't
children?
I wouldn't have to get. How would I? Through charity and the goodness of all the people of the country would donate to this fund that we, clothe the children.
You
the
collect those donations?
We'd have some organization who'd be responsible for it, but it would all be donation based. And I think, look, everybody in this chat right now would throw in a couple bucks if we were to have, easy as that. Luis Fernando, welcome to the family. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Okay, back on semi-topic. Andrew Groves writes, sounds like complicated taxes. Well, it wouldn't be complicated because there wouldn't be any. There would be no taxes. Vance Edward writes, the question why we wear them depends on the evolution of the jean that you're looking at. If you're asking the inventor Levi Strauss why we wear them, he would probably say they're his life's work. I think if Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis were around today, what year? I wonder what year they died.
I also wondered if they wore jeans all the time.
Right, that's a good question. I wonder if even they wore jeans.
Yeah.
That is a good question. When did Jacob Davis die? That's the wrong Jacob Davis. Jacob W. Davis. He died in 1908, and then Levi Strauss died in 1902. So they did not see the explosion. And I wonder if they could look, if they had a, you know what? The other thing that we're going to do as Mia's leader is that we're going to invent the body reanimator, and we would reanimate the bones of these guys.
And I still think they're going to wear suits over jeans.
Right. Would they be? I'm sure they would be amazed that what they created has taken over the entire world. There's few things that can be created in this world that are, globally, like Apple computers. You know what I mean? Like, just.
Yeah, but Apple computers have like a decent amount of competition, like different options.
Yeah,
jeans
but jeans do too. There's obviously a million jean brands, but
no, but jeans itself, it's so irreplaceable. It's all like all the jeans brands are just like a influenced bunch from Levi's jeans.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean,
but I think they would be shocked. Like if we were to wake them up today, just shake them up, and they look at the world and they're like, I think they would be so proud that something that they made has made such a humongous, not just a little impact. It's not like I made a trend that was cool for a couple of years. You changed the whole world.
And now you have a stadium.
Yeah, that's true. You have your own stadium.
And you have so many like die-hard fan books about you.
Would Levi be proud of Naked and Famous? I don't think so. I think those guys were definitely stone cold businessmen and
who did not even wear jeans.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure of this.
Yeah. They would not care. They would be like, that's competition. I don't even acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that they're fans of denim the way that we are fans of denim.
No.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
Okay. BD writes, I am consumed by the question posed by Pedro a couple of times. Will there be a 20-ounce plus MIJ? I'm going to go with yes. I don't have one planned.
The thing about MIJ, I mentioned this in the past, it is hard as is to get, we have a long-standing relationship with the factory that makes MIJ for us, but it is such a, shrinking thing, like, which is weird because you see more made in Japan things, clothing out there, but it, like, you know, just as it's a hard, manufacturing is still a hard thing to keep alive in developed country, and that's certainly the case in Japan. And that, you know, everybody wants to sew something that other people are sewing, so that, you know, other brands are making, so that they can set up the factory to, you know, do certain things. So heavyweight jeans are very hard to find people who are willing to sew, first of all, and just in general also, like, you know, we don't build a whole brand around MIJ. This is just only like a small portion of our business. So, you know, we can't expect a factory to set up a whole thing for us.
Right.
So it is a difficult task. I'm not gonna say no. If we have an opportunity, I think we should, and we certainly, like, you know, want to pursue that. But I'm just saying it might be not so easy.
Right. That's true. The factory situation in Japan is, it's not like China. There isn't an abundance of...
Not at all. And,
you know...
And they don't... Like, they say no to business often.
Yeah. Japan is very, like... It's interesting. Like, there's so many times where you approach Japanese business, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to buy something, or I'm ready to do something, and they're like, no, we're good. Like, it is like pulling teeth sometimes to spend your money here.
Yeah.
And it certainly applies to business as well. Like, I have, I know people here are trying to start up businesses, and, you know, they'll approach a factory, and they have the money, they have the means, they have the plans, they have everything, and the factory's just like, we're good.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, because, you know, the rule of capitalism is that you make money every time you get a chance to make money. But, like, I don't think Japan follows that.
Yeah. Well,
to a T.
I would say that the capitalism rule is more about voluntary exchanges. Like, obviously you have to want to, right? It's a voluntary exchange.
Right, of course, but the idea is to make money, and, like, they do go against that idea sometimes. They're
not always volunteering their services.
Right. Even if there is a chance that, like, it is a thing that makes them money, they sometimes don't want to do the hassle. Like, they don't want to deal with new things or things that they don't really, you know, they're not used to, just to keep peace. Like, you know, like, I'm fine. I have enough to eat today, so I'm just not going to disturb my world for you.
Yeah.
That kind of idea exists a lot, surprisingly.
Right.
In Japan.
It's David Reyes writes, brought my 25 ounce to the local cleaner to hem, and they broke all her needles. She said not to bring my jeans to her anymore. Yeah.
Oh, we get that all the time.
Yeah, it happens. You know, over 20 ounces is really...
Even, I think, I would say even over, like, 16, 17. Over 17 is just... Like, our MIJ currently, like, a bunch of products we're making, or we have made, is 16 ounce, and there's a reason for that. You need different things for over...
I think even, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Blue Owl doesn't hem over a certain weight. And, like, even with the King of Slub 2, like, at New York, we wouldn't hem them.
Because we have one machine.
Yeah, we have one machine. We can't hem anything. Yeah. So, and at Tate and Yoko, because we have the factory next door, we have a couple of chain stitching machines. So, if we break one, or if one goes down, there's like 5 in there. But
it's inconvenient.
Yeah, it's very inconvenient because it has to come off the line. To be fair, the hemming machine that we have for Tate and Yoko isn't on the production line. It's a separate, it's its own machine. The rest of the hemming machines are on the production line. But if we have to take time off the production line to do the hemming for Tate and Yoko, it messes up the production line. So we don't want to do that. So anyways, hemming heavyweight denim is difficult. Especially, you have these old machines, you got to call the repair guy. The repair guy's going to cost hundreds of dollars an hour to just come in and take a look at it. If you have to replace a part, these parts aren't easy to find. Oftentimes, like, we have machines that we have just for salvaging. The machines are broken. They're not, you can't fix them, but we just keep them for parts. Or, like, there's guys in India that machine, like, new parts for them, but even then, it's a hassle. Like, servicing these machines is not easy.
Yeah, it's not just about the needles. Yeah. It's about the machine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Post Laco writes, "Hello, checking in from New Orleans. Welcome to the chat. My apologies to Vincent and Jovan for dealing with my annoying not return. Well, we appreciate the apology. If you gave our guys some trouble, hopefully not too much trouble. I have to say, because somebody said Ender Exile, right, got my first Naked and Famous for Black Friday. Sadly, the Super Guy fit did not work out. Too tight in the hips. What should I try next? What should you try next? What you should do is measure a pair of jeans that you own that fit you well. Hopefully you have one. And then compare those measurements to the sizing charts on the website. So if, for example, Super Guy was a little tight in the thighs for you, you might want to look for a fit that is a little bit roomier. Maybe the Weird Guy. Maybe you need a little bit more room. We've got the Easy Guy. We've got the True Guy. Follow those measurements. And if you happen to buy something on Black Friday, maybe you bought it on sale and it doesn't fit. You know, our sale policy is, if it's on sale, it is considered a final sale. However, we are nice people. We are reasonable people. And, you know, I made a note about this because I was in the customer service the other day. And I'm just going to start with 99.9% of interactions are fine. But the little few points of contention are the ones that always stick out. They always stick out. And if you're asking us to go beyond our service policy, look, we try to make people happy, but we have to have policies. You have to understand that, right? If you're asking us to go beyond the service policy, ask nicely. Just ask nicely. Say, I understand. I'm only asking for a one-time exception. You know, it's my first pair of jeans. I wasn't sure about the measurement chart. Whatever. You know, you don't even have to write us the whole story, but just be nice about it, right? If you go in, and I had one of these the other day, and somebody was like, this isn't even Japanese denim. And I'm like, okay. You know, how dare you? You screwed me. You screwed me. And I'm like, and then even in the same email, it was like, but if you could please make this one exception. Oh, I you know, even if it's a gift card, I appreciate it. I'll get another pair. I'm like, calm down. Okay? Like, obviously you're talking to people. If somebody spoke to you that way, it probably wouldn't be well received. So don't speak to us that way. And even then, like, here's the problem with us, is that even then we try to be accommodating. And then I think it just fuels that monkey brain mentality, that's how I need to talk to people. If we as a policy were to just be like, no, I didn't like the way you spoke to me, I'm not helping you, right?
Oh, 100%, because, like, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil logic. Yeah. Like, to be fair, it works. Like, if you're, like, a massive company with a ton of, like, customer requests, their policy is that take the route that takes the least amount of effort for us, which is often just accept what they demand and give it to them so that they're out of your hair. That is how, like, a lot of companies work, because it takes effort and time and resources to, you know, like, argue with customers or, like, go back and forth with them about how to resolve this, you know, issue. So, like, the people, oftentimes people who are angry just gets what they want, because they don't, you know, businesses are like, okay, fine, like, you deal with that, let's get it off of my desk. And that's definitely has, like, developed these consumer minds that are very entitled. And I don't want to say it, like, because majority of our customers are very, very nice people and they're appreciative, they're very, like, human, But some people, it's just, there are people who are just this type of consumers that are just like, I paid money for this once, so I'm entitled the world. I'm entitled to everything that you have.
Yeah, like literally everything. Like if you made even a slight mistake on an order, it's not a matter of like let's just fix the order and like try to do it as like cleanly as possible. It's I own your soul now, and you've inconvenienced me. You have no idea. I'm so important that this level of inconvenience has shattered my entire world, and now therefore you, your company, your employees, their children, their children's children, and their souls beyond are now property of me, and you must do everything in your power to amend this situation, not just to make me whole, but to make me better than, not just better, but better than better. I need to be the best because of this, and anything less would be uncivilized. Anyhow, if that is your mentality, I don't think you're watching this live stream. So I'm gonna say what I think about you. You're a very nice person. You're very nice. You're my favorite person in the whole wide world, and everyone wants to be your friend.
And just in general, like, just as like it's easy to be rude to people over the internet. Yeah. It's just as easy to be nice to people to get what you want. Also, like, it's just a pro tip. Like, you can just be mad and infuriated in your like own personal space, but you could just be nice to us on the email, and we'll do everything we can. Yeah.
My pro tip, and I've done this. I do this because I love ranting. If I have to write a nasty email, I have to write it. I have to write. It has to come out. It has to come out of my heart. I need to get it out. And then you take it and you go to ChatGPT. You just copy it and you paste it and you say, make this sound nice. And then it makes it sound nice. And then you can send that email and you can know in your heart that what you really meant was that you wanted them some nasty things. But now the situation is going to be resolved. You're going to get your way. You're going to get your way so you win. And you didn't have to inconvenience somebody. Like if you sending that nasty email is you being like, I not only do I want to get my way, I also want to make them feel like, you know what I mean? I want to take them down a peg. I want to ruin their day. And it's like, man, you are a very nice person. You're the best. You're such a great person. I hope more people are like you. David Reyes, expose the Karens on Reels. No, I won't do that. If it was my own brand, let me put it to you this way. I love the channel Gas Station Encounters. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels just because it just, if you guys don't know what it is, it's this series of gas stations that like just show off all the shoplifters. And like the guy narrates over it just to make it funny. But like, the guy's running a business. He's losing money left, right, and center from people shoplifting. At the very least, turn your negativity into content, and at least you can monetize that, right? If I'm gonna lose some money and it's gonna be because of you, well, I'm gonna make some money off of you for that. Fair enough. I think that's a fair trade, right? That's not every business's, MO. Mm-hmm. If it was mine, believe me, there would be some funny videos. Believe me, there would be some funny videos. But it's not my business. Somebody also asked the question, whether it was my choice or Brandon's choice, whether we could talk about other brands and things like that. I take the WWE stance when it comes to competition, and that is you never acknowledge your competition. Let me put it to you this way. They'll never acknowledge me, and even the fact that I'm talking about the fact that competition even exists is already too much. If you want to hear about them, ask them. And the reason why they don't have content is because they don't care about you. But that's just me projecting. They probably do, but they don't have the times or means to do it. But I enjoy this. I enjoy chatting with the community. I like being a part of the community. I was in the forums before I started working in raw denim. I'm working in raw denim. I'm still community growing and building and sharing all the information that I can. I like it. I know that some people don't like it. They don't, it's it's not for them. some people are their work. That's it. You know, the internet is not for them. Fine, whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about their stuff. To be fair, I don't even pay attention to it. I have no idea what's going on. And
to be fair, it's not really our competition. It's just a competition in a way. Just
that's the real answer. What competition? There's no competition, guys. Come on. What are we talking about here? It's not. They ain't not. Who? Competition? What? Guys. The Raven. One of the reasons I love Naked Famous is because they communicate with the community, and that's why we love you too. We love all of you people for being here and being a part of it. Agree with us, disagree with us. That's fine. If we're gonna have a back and forth, we're gonna have a back and forth. It's great.
We're all part of this. Whether you buy other brands' jeans or not, it doesn't matter. We're not like jealous girlfriends. Like we don't own you, and you're entitled to all the freedom in the world, and I'm happy that you're still hanging out with us and exchanging opinions about jeans or whatever, everything. And it's just that's just like we're not gonna try to influence your decisions other than express this platform is us expressing our experiences, our opinions, all of those things, but definitely not something to just change your mind or whatever.
Don Chaco, irate Bahzad can't be good for health, but what a treat. Yeah, no, I get it out here because again, negativity sometimes, not all the time, can be good content. It could be amusing, me yelling into the sun, into the clouds. It's not good for nobody. But hey, if you guys could get a little chuckle out of it.
I mean, it's a reality.
I'll bring it to the table. It's the
yeah.
Okay, this is a good point. Coming from the music industry, I find this aspect of the space somewhat disappointing. I understand that you're here for what you do, but I wish there was more of a community in this space. I suppose that's one thing, but the other thing is that some people will ride your coattails, right? Community is one thing. There are certain retailers, there are certain brands that I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy to highlight. I know there's a lot of great people in our space.
We worked with many of them.
Absolutely.
Collaboration style.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes things are reciprocated. Sometimes things are not reciprocated. And you feel that when you have a certain size platform that and that you're doing all the heavy lifting in that in a situation. And so if you're doing all the work and somebody is just there to collect off of what they're going to gain from you and not really do anything back, it's not something I want to be a part of, right? And yeah, I wish there was more of a community around it. I mean, I would say that certain brands and certain companies work well together. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't. Mm-hmm. And the ones that do, you'll hear about. And the ones that you don't, you won't hear about. Like, there's a lot of people in companies I have a lot of respect for, and there's ones that not as much.
Yeah. We talk about our friends all the time. Like, if they're friends to our brand, then we talk about them.
But I don't think just because we're all in the same space that we're obligated to, shine a light on everybody. Believe me, even the fact that I'm mentioning this is beyond anything most companies would ever do. This is just absolutely, they would never even consider it. So
yeah,
anyways.
It's not bitterness. It's just we don't
I'm not paid to be their spokesperson, and I wouldn't even take their money if they threw it at me. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned the Strong Guy update, and
we just restocked some on Tate
and Yoko.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Yeah. And we have some I think more coming in near future. So
yeah. Okay. DC Tammy cameo on the live stream one day. Yeah, we need to get Tammy. You guys, a lot of people don't know about Tammy, but there's Tammy. Tammy goes back a long way in the raw denim industry in North America. Yeah, you don't see her a lot. She's camera shy. Very camera shy.
Yeah.
Um,
And she usually is at home with her family by the time this live stream
yeah, it's true.
airs.
Airs? Shang airs, yeah. Shang Style writes, will Tate and Yoko stock other Japanese denim brands in the future? Have you gotten out of that space? Yeah, we've I wouldn't say never, but we've pretty much gotten out of that space.
If they offer something that like we want to include in our, our store, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened in a while.
It's like our efforts to produce content and all that stuff. I'll even say this. Back when we did carry other brands at Tate and Yoko, we would sell Naked and Famous Denim 20, 30, 40, 50 to 1. Like, we would have all that stuff. We had it all. And we dedicated a lot of the store to it. And it just didn't sell. Like, it would sell. But, like why? We're working so hard to sell 30 pairs of these when we just sold 30 pairs of these in a day. Like, the effort wasn't there. So it was like, we're spending all of our effort to promote another product when we make a product that clearly people want more. So let's just focus our efforts and strengths on making and highlighting our own product. And But
we also want to have a store that like kind of, if you come in and you can like buy things, you can you can look at things other than jeans also. Yeah. That's why we have other brands that that isn't necessarily denim brands in our store, and they clearly don't outsell Naked and Famous ever. Yeah. But that's the whole point of having other brands. Yeah. We just want to offer a good rounded experience. That's why we buy from other brands. Yeah. But at the same time, if we already sell that item, piling onto that, it doesn't make a lot of business sense.
No. So that's it. I mean, you have to make decisions with how you're going to use your time and what your audience is asking for versus what you're trying to ram down your what you're trying to say. Hey, you got to check this out. I'm like, well, they clearly don't want it. So what am I wasting my effort for?
Which is also weird. One thing I noticed that after we kind of stopped carrying some of these brands, those brands never really chase us at all. And it's how does your
their sales? Honestly, there would be times where you wouldn't hear from a salesperson for 18 months, and they're or forever, and you're or they never even bothered to show us a new collection or anything, and I'm you clearly have no. Anyway, it would be things like that where it's you guys have a new season. You got we're having to reach out, and it's
clearly they didn't want to sell them to us. They were oh, okay, if you ask.
Yeah, it's one of those
Then it's okay, well maybe we don't ask.
Yeah.
Anyways,
doesn't matter too much. Shang Style. There was another thing. Where did it go? I do feel Naked and Famous gets a lot of unreasonable hate on Reddit. Conversely, Japanese brands get too much unreasonable admiration just because of some mystique. I mean, there's certainly some mystique out there, and it remains that way because there's no one there to tell you that these things are not true. My favorite one is the old guy with a mill, that one that went around. Oh, it's this guy with a shuttle loom. I'm no. No,
there's no guy with a shuttle.
There's no master weaver, and even this it doesn't exist. Some of the stuff that you think is happening, I'm and then also I'm just saying the amount that a lot of those, I'm gonna throw some shade. Basically, throwing shade. The amount that a lot of those companies went from being we're super heritage to how much can we look like Naked and Famous Denim without changing our name to Naked and Famous Denim in the last 15 years is pretty amazing to me. There's a lot of clones of our brand now.
That's fashion industry, and that's a sign that we're doing really really well, and I'll take it as a compliment.
That's true. That is absolutely true. But I just remember, like, some of the unreasonable hate. It's always been around. When you're successful, you're gonna have people who are detractors. That's fair. A lot of people are contrarians. They like what they like. They don't like what they don't like. I like heritage. I like this. I like my jeans to be a certain way. This is the only way. Any other way is not really denim, and especially if it comes from these two Canadian guys and a Japanese girl. That couldn't possibly be a Japanese brand, even though the fabric comes from Japan. Risa is literally a denim sommelier in Japan, and they live in Japan and work here and work directly with the mills, have their own factory in Canada, preserving the heritage of made in Canada jeans, the last factory in Canada. That can't possibly be authentic. It really has to be made either in America with imported Japanese denim, sent to a factory that doesn't belong to them, so third party, pay more money for that. That makes the jeans better, obviously. And then you get a lot of, I'm not even going to throw shade there, but that is more authentic because now I've paid more money. And it's not these weirdos on the internet who like boobs and are skinny and talk really fast. Those guys are annoying, and they don't wear the right leather jackets and boots sometimes. I've seen them wear sneakers before. Oh my God, sneakers! I remember being at trade shows where people would be like, sneakers? Like, literally, they're like, I'm like, yeah, I wear sneakers. I wear Converse sneakers. I have all kinds of boots. I'm not wearing the boots that you love. So what? All this raw denim that we make is nothing? Anyways, I'm glad that we took over this whole thing. I'm going to claim it.
And we even make made in Japan jeans that are,
as high spec as they could possibly be.
That is just like a proof that like you don't need to be a mystery Japanese person in the garage of their, like wooden house to make, made in Japan jeans of quality.
Yeah. I like it when they're like, oh, they're not made in, they get upset like, oh, it's not like a made in Japan. I'm like, yeah, we have a made in Japan line. Like, we live here.
And the people say like, oh, you don't even have hidden rivets, and it's like, yeah, that's why we made this like extra line so that we can do these things. We can cater to this community or this fan base, but it's like we also don't need to like do that for everything because we're what we do mainly with Naked and Famous is just develop crazy fabrics that nobody has ever attempted to create.
Yeah. Christopher Colin writes, will you guys make your made in Japan spec jeans in sizes larger than 38? We already do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already do.
I think we go to 42.
Yeah.
Maybe
even 44.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we do. We're one of the few that do, and we don't charge you more for over sizes over 36.
It's just a funny thing.
Let me throw some shade on that. This is Bahzad throwing shade day. Yeah. Here, if you buy over a size 36, you pay more. They charge you more.
Some brands,
no,
brands.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are you charging more?
Well, it's because
there's more fabric. I'm like, yeah, but there's less fabric in a size 28. Mm-hmm. There's less fabric in a size 28 compared to a size 34.
The way to make, figure out a price is that you figure out what your, what your size spread is going to be. And you average out the cost. Just like, if you are on an airplane, just because you're heavier than the person next to you, you don't get charged more. Yeah. It's not fair. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. But it's just how it is. You can't micromanage all these things.
You're not buying jelly beans at the bulk barn, okay? That's you're buying a pair of jeans. It's like the shirt in size small versus the double XL. Yeah, there's more fabric. I get it. But that's just the way it is, sorry. It's,
you can't punish people for being larger because that's what it looks like when you charge more. Like it's not personal. I get that, but it's still gonna look bad, and you cannot, charge exactly how much it's gonna cost. Well, a price that is based off of the exact cost of the item. You just can't. You have to scroll up and do an average.
So anyhow, there's some unhinged rants for you there. We're gonna do a couple of previews because I said we would, and then we're gonna jump into snack time, and then
It's gonna be a long live stream.
It's gonna be a long live stream.
Let's get to it.
Okay. Let's get to it. Because we're talking about made in Japan, let's talk about these guys first, Risa. Show them what we got.
Here is an MIJ. What do we call this?
Aomori.
Aomidori.
Aomidori.
What was-
Aomori. Aomidori.
Aomidori Selvedge.
Yeah.
I think what we call it. This is the 12, right?
MIJ 12. Yeah.
So it is the Greencast. It is not the most Greencast because I think the most Greencast denim that we did with MIJ series was MIJ 3 or 4.
Well, I think these are a little more green, actually.
I think it's less green. It's more blue. But it is definitely a green cast fabric, and it is very slubby. I think you might be able to see here.
Give them a scratch test.
All right. Well, my nails are not. So, okay, here we go. See, it's muffled because I have paint over the edge of my
fair enough.
nails. Anyways, this is very slubby, as you can see over here. And it is 16 ounce, I believe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you're putting me on the spot. I tend to forget these details, but I think it's 16 ounce. It is our typical made in Japan design with the starting with the leather patch. This is a sheepskin leather patch with the Japanese manga inspired version of our logo. We got the maple leaf embroidery. We got two-tone stitching. We got raised belt loop, so it has a little bit more of a bump in the middle, so you can like show off. You can see more of the fade. We have the 100% iron buttons.
So these are gonna rust on you.
It's gonna rust. It's gonna like we also use the 100% copper rivets, so that's also going to like oxidize and turn like greenish. It's a little gross, but it's just part of the fun of aging jeans. And then I am having trouble because I don't want to break my nails, but the fly buttons are also 100% iron, made in Japan. We have the hidden rivets here, just like we talked about. We have the selvage
Peekaboo. Selvage
fly detail. We have the peekaboo selvage on the
coin pocket.
Coin pocket.
So if you like, so for me, this is like a compromise between me and Brandon. Brandon likes having exposed selvage, and I like having hidden selvage. Now you got both. You have
a little bit
of everything.
Yeah, and this is Bahzad's favorite detail,
yes, absolutely,
which is the micro busted selvage.
Yeah, so it's really narrow. So, compared to like a typical Naked and Famous jean, it's a little bit wider. This is more in line with like what you would find on like a standard jean, but you can see we made it really narrow on the MIJs. So it's a little more difficult to do it that way, but we think the detail comes out really cool. And this is going to be coming out for spring, probably first quarter 2024. Something like that.
It's probably not first quarter. It's not on the boat yet.
Okay.
It has been done. The production has been done.
Yeah.
That's the latest news that I've heard. It's not on the boat yet. So it will be sometime in the first half of 2024. It will be released. But this is going to be available in Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy,
True Guy,
and Denim Jacket, and the Type 2 denim jacket, or Heritage denim jacket, we call it.
So a lot of options there.
Six different items. Yeah,
the first like Type 2 style jacket that's going to be coming out will be in the MIJ 13. I know that this is the 12, but the MIJ 13,
right,
which is actually in warehouse at Tate and Yoko, but we're going to wait until the new year to release it. Just too many things
Yeah.
going on
And
right
that's
now.
the black.
Yeah. The all black. Yeah.
Spirit.
Okay, I'm a Spirit. So that was the MIJ 10, which is also going to be restocked. So that's going to be a core running MIJ product for us.
Yeah, so MIJ 10 is the Okayama Spirit fabric that we did a long time ago in mainline Naked Famous. We made the all black warp, black weft version of that, and that will be the MIJ 13. And MIJ 10 will come back in stock after, at some point next year also. And on top of that, we have a new one that is MIJ 12.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing.
Yeah.
So many things happening, and we're going back in numbers.
Yeah.
But
Just the way we planned everything was we planned 12 and 13 at the same time. It just happened that because I wanted to make the black denim, number 13, it just happened that production was ready earlier than 12. So anyways, that's why the naming convention is a little mixed up. But you guys know, because you guys are intelligent raw denim fans. You're the most intelligent raw denim fans in the entire world. Now, in addition, we've got some lightweight options coming for this spring. Although I don't think we started booking this yet.
I don't know if the booking happened, but there is no plan to, like, the production has not been planned because we have to make MIJ 10 first.
Right. So we're hoping this will come out in the summer. It might not.
If not next summer.
If not next summer. But we've got the Craftsman Selvedge, which is our heritage workwear style denim coming out this spring in the mainline Naked Famous Denim collection. 10 ounces, dark indigo on the outside, and then you've got a melange gray and natural weft on the inside. So
it's got 2x1 denim also, so it's very tight.
Tight twill.
Yeah.
This is what you can kind of expect from those early heritage, the early days of denim. This is what it looked like. And, we've got that white stitching, gives it kind of painter denim kind of look. A very, very nice workwear inspired fabric. And I think this is going to be a nice one for the summer. So you have that from the mainline collection, and then the MIJ version of that, which is, again, another workwear style denim, but just beefed up with a little bit more texture, neppiness.
So much neppiness.
Yeah, it's super neppy. So
and the color is also really nicely like a mid blue. It's
Yeah.
not the dark indigo.
Right.
And it doesn't have that much of the redness in the dye that you see.
Yeah. So
it's more of a green.
Sorry for
blue.
the light that's kind of shining through here, but anyways, that'll give you a good indication of the difference here. So we'll have some workwear style, and this will be the first lightweight option in the MIJ line that we've ever done. And I especially you can see how you can see that it's not just the white, or it's not white, but it's actually more natural. But you can see how slubby the texture is here as well. For a lightweight denim, you've got these crazy bumps in the fabric. It's really, really neat. It's something that you will enjoy looking at for sure. And you've got a really nice Selvedge ID here as well. Just I like the all white. It's just especially for these old school denims, just to have something fat and classic like that.
This sample didn't get made with the micro busted out seam,
right.
but it will be.
For production it will. This is, I think, the true guy sample. So anyways.
This one's also, wait, let me double check.
What?
The production.
Oh, I think it is like this. I saw it.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
There was a slight change.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess Reese is gonna uncover that right now, because I think we got when. I don't know. Oh, Reese has got it. So whenever there's a production that gets finished, we get a little bit of the fabric just to confirm, all the quality is good.
Okay, yeah. So
it's
actually technically slightly different, but it looks the same to me, honestly. So that's the Selvedge.
Qu'est-ce que c'est la différence?
I think the number of yarns or the direction.
I see. So a very minor difference.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it might be unrecognizable difference. Can you see this?
I don't know. Here, let me hold it up. An unrecognizable difference. Can I even tell the difference?
I forgot what it was.
It looks maybe maybe one yarn smaller, maybe. It looks pretty identical.
Okay.
I don't think there's any difference.
Let's not worry about that.
So the difference is that there's probably no difference. So if you guys can't tell.
No, but the point is that one side has these 3 dotted lines, and then the other side is all white. So it's kind of like a cool detail, as you can see here.
It's kind of like on our left-hand tool selvage, where there's one line on one side.
But it's more obvious here because there's 3 lines.
2 lines.
2 lines.
2 lines. Yeah.
2 lines.
Yeah. So unless you count the white as the lines, anyhow. Potato, tomato. Okay. So there's some previews for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap things up here right after you guys hit that like button just one more time for us. Just give it a little love tap. If you haven't done it yet, I mean, now's a great time because.
Yeah. What's the harm?
What's the harm? That like button has never hurt you. It's only brought you joy, and it helps other people discover us and discover the true bliss of the greatest live stream on the internet today and for all time. So hit that like button if you haven't done so already. We're going to get into snack time because we got something kind of interesting, a little bit festive, at least for this country, and that is fried chicken.
Fried chicken flavored Kobe potato chips.
Yeah, and I call it festive because for Christmas in Japan, fried chicken, almost specifically Kentucky Fried Chicken, is the meal that you eat with your family. You have a KFC extravaganza. You book your KFC in advance. Like the KFC that's close to us, they're taking pre-orders now. And they will be sold out soon. And you will, if you go to a KFC in this country on Christmas Day or the night before Christmas, you will be turned around and most definitely, like, there would be
behind
they'd be like, what are you thinking? You think you can get KFC on this day? Impossible.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: Christmas Eve is when we have Christmas dinner in Japan.
Interesting.
It's a Japanese style. But I also think that the idea of chicken is more not that fried chicken specifically. I think it's more about having a bone in chicken. Is like our idea of Christmas. So like if you go to a grocery store, they also have like a Christmas meal that they sell that has the grilled chicken with the bone. I think the fact that the bone is there is what we associate with Christmas.
But that's all because of KFC's marketing. Like they invented the idea of chicken.
I think it was because the bone in chicken was not readily available back then, or not even today, other than KFC and some like we do eat like wings, but drumsticks are not. So I don't know.
Right. Here's a Reddit post picture of people lined up. Yeah, it's no joke. Like,
yeah, and these people all like have a reservation. They're just picking up their order. So
it's a big thing here. What's his name? Colonel Sanders is often dressed up. A lot of the KFCs have this Colonel Sanders statue outside the front, and they will always dress him up like Santa.
Which I didn't even realize that American KFCs don't have.
No. They don't have that statue. This statue is very Japanese.
Well, I'm sure it started in America, but like
they don't.
If there isn't a Colonel Sanders in front of the store, then it's not a real KFC.
Yeah. In my local hospital in Mississauga, Ontario, where I grew up, there's an entire wing, pun intended, of the department of the hospital dedicated to Colonel Sanders because he was a philanthropist in the area, and he donated a lot of money to that hospital.
Is he Canadian?
He is not Canadian, but he traveled up and down and he was everywhere, and he gave a lot of money. And there's a big giant picture of Colonel Sanders right in the hospital. Yeah.
Anyways, so back to the topic: fried chicken flavored potato chips. It's something that I think it's delicious. It should be a thing, but we don't really see that much you know.
Yeah, there's no
I don't think
fried
I've
chicken
ever
flavored.
seen a fried chicken flavored.
I'm sure maybe KFC did some. I'm sure they would have done a collaboration with them. That would sound good.
Oh, I'm hoping this has a KFC spice vibe to it.
All right.
All right.
Spencer's Mustache writes, KFC is horrible in my city. It's
KFC?
definitely a location by location.
It's so interesting because like it's there's like I had such a mixed experience with KFC. I used to like it, and I feel like back in the days like the quality was better, to be honest. Or maybe I just didn't know about bad quality. But when I was a kid, like I loved to eat KFC, and then I lived in the States for a while, and I like did not like any of the KFC. Yeah,
it's different. BD writes, KFC X Ruffles has happened. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that before. Yeah, I've never tried it, but maybe I have. I don't know.
But yeah, Popeyes is far superior.
I agree.
It's not even.
Also, if you're watching and you're in Japan and you work on the military base, I know there's a Popeyes on the base.
Can you
in
take
Yokosuka,
us to
I would really like to go on base, shop at your pseudo Walmart, and go and visit your Popeyes.
Oh, what was it called? I forgot. Anyways, there's a name for it. It's fun. Okay, so let's try this.
Let's there it is. All the chips in perfect order there. No breakages in that bag. It smells like consommé.
It totally smells like consommé.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
It does have that chicken flavor.
It kind of tastes like a chicken bouillon.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like consommé like it smells. It definitely has the chicken, like, meaty flavor.
I think if I didn't know these were fried chicken flavored, I think they were just a different consommé flavor.
Maybe. It is very much consommé based, but they added chicken on top of that. I don't get the fried chicken part.
Yeah, I don't either. They're fine though. They're good. They're good.
They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, these are good. These are. I'm putting these in like 7.2.
Yeah.
That's a 7.2.
Yeah.
It's a good chip.
Yeah.
I would get it again.
Eat it again.
Yeah.
We might not like load up our pantry with this though.
Yeah. Definitely going to be a limited time thing. The good people at Calbee are always, coming up with new flavors. Limited edition. There you go. There you have it. So if you're in Japan for the holidays, or you want to come here specifically to try these, I would say that if you're thinking about that, it's probably not worth it. But if you do other things in Japan while you're here, I would recommend you fill your time.
Or you can try regular fried chicken.
Yeah.
In Japan, there's a lot of good fried chickens in Japan.
That's true. Okay. Well, everybody, it's been a wonderful. It's been a wonderful morning. It's been great hanging out with you. Snuff Spoon says, all my Pinoy boys know Jollibee or L&L. As a Filipino, I've never had Jollibee before. Never even once. I don't like the logo. I hate it, in fact. I just really...
I don't know the logo.
It's just like a Filipino Mickey Mouse. It's like they took Mickey Mouse. You know exactly what they did. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up and then we're gonna say goodbye for sure. Because I'm sorry. Jollibee. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, guys. Could we try? Could we try a little?
It's fine.
But they didn't even try. They're just like, what are we gonna do? Let's take Mickey Mouse and make him a bee because chicken. Got it. That's it. So anyways, what can I say? Popeyes, number 1. Naked and Famous, number 1. Japan, number 1. USA, number 1. Canada, number one, and wherever you are in the world, you are also number one because you are tuning in to the greatest, the number one live stream in the entire universe. Thank you for taking your time. Do something nice for yourselves. Do something nice for somebody else, and we will see you guys next week right here, 7 p.m. Eastern. Risa, you got something final to say?
No. You all have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
We'll be one more week closer to Christmas.
That's it. More ones. See you later, guys.